On October 24th, 1924, Michael Nunez was born in Texas. His parents were named Jenny and Lorenzo, and when he was just born, they couldn't figure out a name for him. While he was just a newborn, just as most parents at the time, they decided to get him baptized Catholic. When they were about to get him baptized, the priest asked the parents what their child's name was, and they responded, "We haven't thought of a name for him yet." The priest's name was Michael, so then he replied without a thought, "Why don't you just name him Michael?" Lorenzo and Jenny were happy with the name, so they kindly agreed. Years later, his parents moved to Richmond, California, where they raised Michael and his 6 sisters and 5 brothers. They moved to California because Michael's father had found a job opportunity to build railroads in Richmond. These railroads, which are still used to this day. Less than a month after Michael turned 18, on November 12, 1943, he was inducted, but it wasn't until December 3rd when he went to war.
I was drafted.
You were?
My first place was San Francisco. I went to, they're going to look me over or ask me questions. And then we went to Los Angeles. They had a big depot there for inductions. And they told us there were so many, they told us to go and find a place to stay, and then they will, when they get ready, they call us. But I think the only one I can remember is I was stationed in L.A. and then they sent
Long
us
Beach?
to Oklahoma.
Oh.
It's in L.A. first, then I went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And then they decide what you're fit for.
So
So mine was artillery. His name was
Where's
Gomez.
your shoes?
He was from
Where's his
Mexico,
little shoes?
and he married a girl from Texas.
Yeah.
And when he got into Texas, they found out what he did best. Well, he was,
I'll
I
see
guess,
if I can
artillery.
the book, yeah.
I was trying to tell you about Gomez.
Oh, Gomez. Yeah.
That poor guy was a Mexican, straight from Mexico. And I said, I don't see why, I couldn't figure out why they took him when he wasn't a citizen.
That's weird, yeah. That's not... Were there any
Well,
famous
we,
names?
we were just artillery. They call, and the guys, the absorbers, they call and they tell you
What to do?
what to shoot and where to shoot.
Oh,
That's what they do.
wow, yeah.
See, the first thing they tell you, those shells, a casing of brass is about that big, and the shell's in there. And you'll see there, see, but in this casing, there's powder there, bags of powder.
Yeah.
There's
Stuff
1, 2, 3, 4, and they tell you which one. The shell is separated, and then they tell you shell AC, so many bags you take out,
Wow.
the powder,
Yeah.
I can't remember which. The other ones, there was a string of bags. Some bags were that big, and you cut off what they tell you.
Oh.
They tell you bag so and so,
And
and you cut that off, and the rest stays in there. Then you put the shell in, and this guy here is he gets information,
Oh, okay.
and this guy over here, he gets information how far to shoot.
Yeah.
how much to shoot.
Oh, how much to put in to shoot?
Yeah.
How far? Okay.
They got just the directions, it's that way or that way or that way. And this guy here shoots a gun. he sets it. He sets the thing. He says raise it up like this, up and down. But the observer, he can move the gun this way and that way.
Okay. Yeah.
And this guy, who actually he's the one that fires the gun.
Ooh.
This guy over here is just the direction of the what to do,
okay.
how much
Stuff to put in.
See, this shell's got powder bags in
In a
it.
video.
They got powder bags. They tell you exactly how many powder bags to cut.
Yeah.
They cut off.
To shoot so far, huh?
Yeah. Each
He was sent Germany.
it's been so damn long I can't even remember.
That's all right.
And he
So,
said he was in the Battle of the Bulge one day.
You're in the battle.
The people that lived across the street from us, Mr. I forget his name. He was an important man, and he told my parents that your son is coming home.
Oh, don't worry about it. Well, did you come back on the Queen Mary?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Did you like that? You like that, right?
Queen Mary only took 4 days
Wow. From where?
from England
Oh my God! Wow, that's
to
fast.
Europe.
That's fast.
And going over there, it took us 16 days
Wow, that's
to
a big
cross the
difference.
Pacific.
Wow.
The Pacific.
16 versus
No,
4.
that was, I guess that was, I don't know if it was the Pacific or not, I don't know. But they always moved you at nighttime
Yeah,
because they don't want the people to see what's
enemy.
going on.
the enemy, right?
Yeah,
The enemy.
yeah.
Okay, so then
So the interview didn't go really well because he didn't really remember what happens back when he was in the war, but his records told me a little more to piece together to make the story a little more together, but it's not everything, but this is what else I found out. So what I found from his records is that he was inducted November 12th, 1943, and his date of entry into active service was December 3rd, 1943. He was a sharpshooter in the artillery branch of the Army, and he was in fact in the Battle of the Bulge, like my grandma said before in the video. And he was also in the battles of Central Europe and Rhineland. I also found from his records that after the war was over and the United States won, he was earned the World War II Victory Medal, the European Middle Eastern Southern Campaign Medal, the American Campaign Medal, and the Medal of Good Conduct. So in the beginning for my senior project, I had the idea to research World War II and to understand what my great-grandpa went through mentally and how it affected him because of what we heard for Peace and Justice Week. But since I didn't get enough information, I decided to talk a little bit about the anti-war movement in the United States and why we should be thankful for what our World War II veterans have done for us. Over the past year, I've noticed that the media has tried to give us an ugly perspective of war. They have said things like, we're killing innocent civilians through war. Drones are a bad idea. Nuclear weapons are not the answer. All these things are just eating us away, shaping our morals, and pushing us to the mindset that we want world peace. But the truth is, world peace is impossible. Not only is the media giving us a bad perspective on war, it is also blinding us from the fact that if it wasn't for war, we wouldn't be where we are today. If the Allied forces never fought back at Germany, hypothetically, Hitler could have invaded the United States and killed off a large portion of the population. That population being your parents, your grandparents. If it wasn't for the U.S. Army, Atchison Village in Richmond wouldn't even exist. They created the village for those waiting to be called to fight, and today it stands as a home for a few students from St. Mary's College High School, my grandmother, and my great-grandfather and grandmother. We need to be thankful for our World War II veterans and what they have done for us. The United States would not have been the same if it wasn't for them.